Hello again. Welcome to the next tier list we are going to do, and that is Paper Mario Bosses. It's got the partners in here too, but I'm going to do the partners and Star Spirits together in a separate tier list, so we're going to ignore the partners. As you see, I have the partners all lined up in order of joining your party, but Loculester is notably missing. That is because you fight Loculester as a mini-boss in Chapter 6. So, Loculester will be on the boss ranking, because he's a mini-boss. I have all the bosses sorted in as easily, or in as early as you can feasibly fight them. I don't know where Kenshi Koopa starts appearing on Koopa Road. Pleasant Path Koopa Road, I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember when he first appears, so I just kind of have him after Chapter 7. Especially because most of the time if you want to go to Koopa Village or the Fortress, you're going to bypass it with the Toad Town sewers anyway. My blooper placements, as well as Chan and Lee, might be a little incorrect, but Goomba King also is notably not on this list. Actually, I can probably use Goombario for Goomba King. We'll use Goombario for Goomba King. Okay, so we are going to start in order. Junior Troopa. I think Vanilla Junior Troopa is kinda C tier. Initial Junior Troopa doesn't really do a whole lot. He has like 5 HP. He guaranteed gets you to, I think, Danger, which is 5 HP or less. But it introduces a new... It introduces the rival character for the game. Goomba King. D tier. The Goomnut Tree. So I think Red Goomba, Blue Goomba joining Goomba King for the fight after beating them as a mini-boss is cool. But the Goomnut Tree kind of trivializes it into a one-boss encounter, which even then, he has 7 HP if you use the Goomnut Tree, which further trivializes him, and he doesn't have much that he does other than that. After that, we have the Koopa Bros. I think as an actual boss, I think they're really cool. I think that they're really neat foes. They just want to be cool guys. But I think in Vanilla Paper Mario as a boss, they're just kind of not a whole lot going on with them. But 4 enemies at once as the boss is cool. It's pretty neat. 2 phases. First phase sucks real bad. After that, you fight Junior Troopa Part 2, where I think he uses an egg shield, which is also just kind of meh, because by that point, he still doesn't have much going for him. He just has higher defense. That's it. Chan is a D tier. He's just a uniquely colored Buzzy Beetle. That's really all he is. Lee is substantially more interesting because Lee can take the form of any of your party members, which can make the fight a lot more interesting depending on who you have out and when you fight Lee. Blooper. Blooper's got a big health bar. Blooper has some alright moves. But Vanilla Blooper doesn't have all that much going on. It has a couple of attacks that you can block, and it's just got big HP. For when you can fight Buzzer, Buzzer is really challenging. And it also has the added benefit of you being able to meme with it. Where you can say you're Luigi, and just continue on your day, or you can say you're Peach and she'll go, hey, wait a minute, and attack you anyway. Toot and Koopa, I think, is conceptually pretty decent. Cooper and Bombette can't do anything to Toot and Koopa. Only Goombario and Parakarry, who you have up through that point, can do anything to Toot and Koopa. So two of your party members can't interact with Toot and Koopa at all, but they can interact with the extra enemy he summons, a Chain Chomp. Cooper's not going to do too much to a Chain Chomp, to be completely honest, but Bombette can make relatively quick work of them. After that is Tubba's Heart, which is a pretty good fight. It can do really big damage to you if you don't use bows out of sight on the right turn, which, I mean, the fight is kind of scripted to do that. Tubba Blubba is D tier. Tubba has like 1 attack and 10 HP, and by that point you can do 10 HP of damage real fast. Super Blooper. Super Blooper is a lot better than Blooper, in that it can summon little mini adds that will steal your HP, and it can turbocharge to do bigger damage, which can vary up your strategy and how you deal with it compared to a regular Blooper. Lantern Ghost. Mechanically, fantastic fight. Hit his lantern to illuminate him, hit him. He can do a move to make it harder to hit his lantern in an area blast of light, which can damage your partner if you don't block it in time. Not to mention, beating Lantern Ghost gives you like the best party member in the game in Watt. Anti-Guy. I'm gonna put Anti-Guy in C. He's just a regular Shy Guy, only his moves, he's got 50 HP instead of like 6, and his moves deal like double digits in damage instead of like 2. Other than that, he's just a regular Shy Guy. There's not much interesting to really say about him. I think General Guy is an S tier fight. I think General Guy having multiple phases using Shy Guys doing cool stuff is, like I said, really cool. Not to mention his tank and the light bulb are mechanically really cool. The light bulb will make killing the light bulb will make the fight a lot easier, and the tank incentivizes using Watt specifically to pierce defense, because that's Watt's gimmick, piercing defense. There are a couple Junior Troopa phases that are missing from this, so we'll skip them for now. Lava Piranha is next. I think Lava Piranha is S tier. I'm going to have to add new tiers. Add row below. Adjust. Yeah, I'm going to have to add new tiers, just so I'm not cluttering tiers with a bunch of stuff. There we go. That's better. That means I can put Lava Piranha in A tier. Lava Piranha is another boss that basically makes mandatory or heavily incentivizes the use of a specific party member, in this case, Sushi. Phase 1 doesn't really incentivize or force the use of Sushi too much, but he pulls a bait and switch when he dies, and now he and his lava buds have fire. And that means that you have to use the Snowman Doll ability, the Ice Power Badge, or Sushi's Squirt or Tidal Wave to make the buds damageable by Mario. which will also skip their turns while they are wilted, so to speak. The bait and switch for a phase 2 is really cool. I think Colorado running in and running into the fire after saying you won't fight alone and then saying, yep, you're on your own, and leaving is really funny. After that, you have Junior Troopa, number, I think, 4? Where he loses half of his HP and he gets the flying phase from after Chapter 3, but this time he has a spike on his head. If you can do damage that isn't, a jumping attack, or if you wear Spike Shield, which Mario should definitely have by that point, this is it's a really trivial Junior Troopa phase. I think the 4th wall break about him losing half of his HP due to swimming is kind of funny. Electro Blooper is hardly better than Super Blooper. It's got an additional attack where it gets jolted. And that's really the only difference other than more HP. Localester. Localester is going to join Chan in F tier because it's really just a high HP. I don't even think it's a more damage, but it's a high HP version of a regular enemy. Just like Chan and Anti-Guy. Anti-Guy at least has funny dialogue. That's what puts him in D tier above Chan and Localester. Huff and Puff. I think Huff and Puff is a rad boss. His battle theme, Huffin' and Puffin', is really cool. The drums sound great in Huffin' and Puffin'. Mechanically, it's a really cool fight too. It's basically out damage his healing source, which I think is a really cool concept for, a generic RPG boss. As you damage Huff and Puff, he'll summon a Tough Puff that on the next turn, Huff and Puff will eat them to heal. And he heals 1 for every Tough Puff on screen, and I think there can be 11 on screen. So the name of the game is do like 12, 13 plus damage in a turn. The fight might be a slog if he's going to continue to heal, but you have the option of doing AoE attacks like Starstorm and Air Raid to deal AoE damage to the Huff and Puffs to try to clear them out to remove his healing source. Next is Monstar, F tier. Monstar is just spooky looking, but deals basically 0 damage. Crystal King, A tier. Crystal King is a really cool boss. He's got 3 heals that he can do, which depend on your health as to when or if he can do them. But the multiple enemies to hit multiple times is really cool. He's got a Shadow Clone phase where if you pick the wrong enemy, you'll just drop through them and not damage them, which is pretty cool. So after Chapter 7, which is Crystal King, we have Junior Troopa Phase 2, which is a lot of... He just has a magical attack and more defense and HP, I think. There's not a whole lot to say about him there. He's pretty easy to deal with. Kent-C Koopa, I'm going to put in C tier. Kent-C Koopa doesn't have a whole lot going on with him either. He's just a big old Koopa that deals big damage. He can hit your partner. He's very susceptible to dizzy and, I believe, sleep. Once he's on his back, or rather in his shell on his back, like, generic Koopa Troopa things, his tail becomes vulnerable to deal damage to, and his tail has 0 defense, where Kent-C Koopa retains defense. Other than that, he's just a big, beefy Koopa Troopa that is even more susceptible to sleep. There's not much to say about him. You can pay him to, pass past him if you want. You can just completely ignore him. Master Phase 1. C tier. He doesn't have a whole lot going for him. He just has like one really basic attack that deals kind of mediocre damage. I think he's got about 50 HP. Not a whole lot. We're going to say Final Master in A tier. He's got multiple attacks in a single attack. Or he's got multiple damaging instances in like a single attack during his turn that requires multiple blocks. He's also got 99 HP, which is he's pretty engaging, and he's a great test of everything you've learned up through most of Chapter 8. So, Chapter 8 bosses, we have Bowser. The main man himself is going to go in B tier. He's got a claw that's going to do not a whole lot to you. He's got fire that's going to do big damn. He can jump on you, and the damage is kind of meh. The damage is buffed, and he has basically infinite defense. He's invulnerable when he buffs himself with the Star Rod, but the Star Beam you learn through this point in the game will waste one of Mario's turns to render that buff and invulnerability moot, and that's about it. And then Final Bowser, I think, is S tier. Final Bowser buffs all of his abilities, adds tons of new ones, has a phase breakup, resets Mario's HP and stuff like that, it upgrades the Star Beam. Really, really great finale, great boss to end Paper Mario 64. So that is my tier list for the bosses. Goombario is a stand-in for Goomba King for those who came into the video, or for those who came to the stream late. Goombario is a stand-in for Goomba King. This is where I rank everything. Yellow is Electro Blooper, and that's it. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thoughts, comments, and concerns in the comments below. See ya.